bit, but you got to be certain. You got to get these wins. This is an important series, right?
Yeah.
Got to make sure that
Yeah.
every win comes in, whether it takes 800 minutes or 17. I guess I could give a real example with that second part.
I think going back to the start of that really long game as well, we have to remember how strong Aster's laning stage was that game as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
those side lanes both absolutely crushed. Doom having that double death at the start of the game put him back massively. The Axe had an absolutely free time top.
Mm-hmm.
X-Nova had to leave that lane really early on to try and make moves. And so I'm looking back at that already. Yeah, and EHOME are going to ban the Phoenix. I think that's a good start.
It
So
feels like that hero is strong no matter what they do to him.
Mhm. I mean, Sunray's just such a crazy skill. So the two big ones
Yeah.
that were left in the pool for me were Venge and Tiny that we've seen today so far. Um, so they go for the Venge on EHOME. I mean, Snapfire's still in the pool as well, which is another potential like early picker. I
Well,
think
we talked about
AM.
the Snapfire without the Phoenix being an enemy, right? Like it's still good. It's just
That,
everything's not the reasoning not there,
I
but
mean, that hero is still
it's
good
fine.
because if you early pick it,
Yeah,
you have that flex value, right?
yeah, for sure.
AM got banned last game as well by Aster first phase. Oh, it's
Ooh.
back.
Finally, the Tusk comes back. It seemed like this hero was getting picked up a lot in the Chinese region. We were seeing like Yang played in the off lane. I wouldn't be surprised if this is XSS's hero
Potentially.
or ends up being his hero.
But that's the thing. That's why you first phase it because it has flex value. I just think there's better
Mm-hmm.
picks right now. Like, why would you pick Tusk when you pick Tiny instead? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it might be in response to what they think EHOME are going to go for. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, potentially.
Earth Spirit's still not been picked today, has it? I don't think. That's another one that's been really popular
Earth
so far.
Spirit really hasn't been picked up much in general, has he?
I thought he got picked up a lot on one of the days that we cast, but then a lot of the other time he just got completely ignored almost. I think
Mm-hmm.
it just depends on the teams, but maybe the teams that were picking it had gone out now, and we've seen them all already. So maybe that says something about Earth Spirit.
Maybe.
So, that hero is pretty good at the moment, I think. Oh,
There's the Skywrath. This is the Skywrath that I was looking at, but usually we'll see like a Pugna pick in in a rebuttal to this.
I mean, I'm probably picking AM if I'm EHOME, honestly, or Aster.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm looking at picking a potential hero that I think we can protect well with 3 bans, like Voids in the pool if they want to go for it, but against Venge, maybe not so valuable. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
So they still have flex value with the Zeus and the Tusk.
Yeah.
And again, we saw how much problems this Zeus caused last game. Like, you have to have a way of gap closing him. There's a
Mm-hmm.
reason the Zeus game that lost was against the Spectre, and the Zeus game that won today has a completely free time because the other team has no gap close. That's not obviously the only reasonings, but you could see the difference in how differently the Zeus had to play in both games because of the threats that were on the map at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they instantly banned the AM, they're gonna ban Spectre as well, and I imagine they banned some other gap close hero. And then it's like, well, EHOME still needs so much from their lineup, and gap close has to be one of them.
Would it be maybe Void Spirit ban, or is it just too early? He kind of gap closes on the Zeus.
I think Void Spirit's okay. Yeah, look, that's Queen of Pain.
Queen
I
of
still think
Pain.
they have to ban Spectre though, unless they're looking at picking it up themselves on Aster potentially.
Maybe.
Bloodseeker's still in the pool for them if they want to go for that on Aster, which has been really good with Zeus.
It's been good with Skywrath too,
Yeah,
because
true.
it goes the Rod of Atos build instead of the Veil build, and then you've got the Rod with the Blood Right and the Mystic Flare with the concussive shot.
It's also really good in lane as well because you have the blood right into the concussive shot for the slow, so the
Mm-hmm.
blood right should always land.
Yeah.
Theoretically. Yeah, I think Spectre and Bloodseeker are the two that stand out for me for both these teams.
Night Stalker.
Because then when you could pick it on Aster, and then Tusk rushes an Ags, and you kick the Rupture, dude. Easy win. What happened to Tusk Ags? Why does nobody buy that anymore? Great meme.
Well, did anybody ever buy it like purposefully?
Yeah, against like Underlord sometimes, and with Bloodseeker. So like you'd kick away the Dark Rift and things.
Yeah. I've been in the Storm. I guess that gap closes, and they go Bloodseeker. So they go what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think this pick's really good. Like, their lane looks really strong now already, if the Zeus is 4 or the Zeus is 2. Because you can already look towards an Earth Spirit here, I think, potentially as well, maybe. Like, play Earth Spirit 4, Tusk 5. I feel like they might need a little bit more... I guess with Bloodseeker and Zeus, they have decent wave clear already. It's just on their cores.
Void's still available.
And I think the bans from Aster make more sense knowing they were going to pick Bloodseeker. Like, this Storm, for example, is really hard for Bloodseeker to deal with. Viper. Okay. I mean, Viper's good with Venge. It exists in the mid lane. But they really struggle to make moves on the map at the moment. I'd love to know what they want to pair the Skywrath with. Because, like, Axe or something is still in the pool. Like, I mean, Mars is still in the pool as well. Which really shocks me with how much these Chinese teams love the Mars.
Wonder if the Viper, maybe it's picked, makes Aster feel unlikely about picking up a Spectre themselves, and then EHOME get it themselves?
Maybe. I think you don't really want to pick Spectre into Viper. Feels really rough.
Yeah. So now EHOME can get it themselves since they picked the Viper, and it deters Aster from wanting to grab it themselves, right?
I mean, they could do, but they have a... Yeah, now I don't think you want to pick it. Because you have to remember, EHOME here have already picked their support duo, most likely. If they play like Venge 3 and Viper 2, it's like such a static lineup. So this Darkseer Tusk... Well, actually, where are they laning? Is it Zeus...
Tusk 5,
Darkseer
1 4?
Yeah, I mean, it could be Darkseer 4, Bloodseeker 3. That's interesting. I mean, SCCC used to play Bloodseeker a decent amount, didn't he? I think when it was a different kind of hero.
Mugi used to be like the big go-to on Bloodseeker.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's... Maybe every one of these heroes is a position 3 on Aster. Maybe it's some new meta that we haven't seen before.
They just split the farm evenly.
Yeah. I think it's more likely to be Darkseer 4. But again, it could be like... I mean, I don't know. Honestly, Darkseer mid, maybe? Like... Maybe they feel like the Darkseer mid against the Viper is really strong. Maybe that's what it is. Like, because you don't need to stand in the lane against the Viper, you have Surge away as well.
Maybe?
I actually wouldn't mind to see that. Because I love seeing teams when they, like, theory craft responses to heroes. You know, we've talked about this, you know, LGD picking techies, what's the response to it and things like that. If they feel like Darkseer is a good answer to the to the Viper in the mid lane, maybe they see that as a thing. But I think it's more likely to just be Zeus mid, right? And then the Bloodseekers or the Darkseer as a support. This is so weird. I like the Void pick though. Let's talk about that. So that's their setup for the Mystic Flare and things, which is obviously really good. It gives them good team fight as well, which they were lacking at the moment. But maybe not the best laner against Bloodseeker, potentially. Because you can't time walk off the silence damage. Because it's like a 3-second silence. I think time walk sends you back 2 seconds in time.
Yeah, this seems to be potentially good for Aster again, but I say that looking at potentially 4-3 positions. I guess. XSS ready to take over and micro all 5 heroes.
So they have next pick on EHOME. let's talk about what they need. So it's probably going to be... I assume they can play Viper 3, because Chalice has done that before.
Yeah.
But it's most likely going to be Viper mid, I would assume. But I think they need more gap close to get onto this Zeus. I think we've seen these things like Void Spirit before, is okay. But against Bloodseeker, maybe not so much, because that hero relies on mobility. They do go for the Mars. Okay. So it's going to be most likely Mars 3, Viper 2. And I have no idea what... I mean, Aster needs some like big hitting hero last. And it would be nice if it was a hero that played off the Iron Shell as well. Like a melee core. But there's so many of them that have been banned out. Like Life Stealer's still in the pool if they want to go for it, I guess. But against Viper...
Yeah.
Void?
I don't know. Jeez.
Alright, tell me if something gets picked. I'm looking at hero list.
Would Jug work here?
I don't think it's great. It's okay again, but like... I'm trying to think of a hero that looks really good. PL, potentially, could be good.
He's banned.
Oh, okay. Right, back to my list. Slark? Maybe?
Would Slark be good?
I don't think so, but it could be fun. They have Zeus Slark then, dude. They never get a ward down on EHOME. CK? Yeah, I do pick CK. Let's go.
Ooh,
oh
Ricky.
My god.
Okay.
This is the OG classic against Mars, isn't it? As the core-to-core matchup. Where you ignore the bulwark, you blink strike behind him, you start hitting him. Because obviously during the, what's it called? Tricks of the Trade. You always hit from behind as well, which is nice. The Smoke Cloud's really good against Void before he gets BKB.
Yeah.
I will say it's a little bit susceptible to potential burst damage, the Ricky. But they have like Snowball Save and things as well. This is... I feel like their lineup's a little bit greedy on Aster. I'd be interested to see who plays what role. So it's going to be Bobica on the Darkseer. So it's position 4 Darkseer, position 5 Tusk.
Interesting.
Okay.
Because it could literally have been anybody.
I prefer Aster's draft maybe ever so slightly, but I think this game's much closer in terms of draft. Like last game, I think Aster had a big upper hand.
Yeah.
But this game, it's a lot closer. Tough one to call, though. There's so many things that could happen this game. Because they like... EHOME have really good team fight. But it could get into the point in the game where the Ricky's just going crazy with like a really early defusal or something.
They really need to make sure that the Ricky doesn't get an open lane, but we've seen that before where we just see these safe laners control enough of the map where they just don't get touched.
Dude, they can use Vacuum into the AoE Smoke Cloud. What a combo.
Into the Tricks of the Trade?
What, with Battle Fury Ricky? I mean, they have Vacuum into Bloodright as well, which is nice.
Prepare for battle.
I haven't seen this position 4 Darkseer in ages either. Well, I used to see a decent amount of it in like... Do you remember when we were casting SEA? I mean, sometimes it got picked then. It used to get picked a little bit in EU and things as well. Like, it went through a phase where it was a viable pick, but it kind of fell off for quite a while. Be interesting to see how it goes this game.
So let's see how this starts out. Before we get started, I do have to say it's freezing in my apartment right now.
Oh, get over yourself, Jesus.
I've brought out the heated blanket. I'm in a cocoon at the moment.
30 seconds to
I should throw it back to Cams quickly then.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see this game. Okay, production. Thank you. They did throw it back to... Come on. Well, give them ideas, Mo. Can't do that.
Oh, that's
The
a
heat's
10 out of
keeping
10
me
from me.
awake as well.
No, production, 10 out of 10,
the
actually.
battle begins.
That's incredible. Void? Takes a bit of damage up in the top lane, but does get the rune.
Oops.
So it's going to be 3 for 1.
Nice. Oh, and Bobica gets caught carrying the hot pepper.
Easy win.
So, Radovatos, yeah, that's okay. So that's the different Bloodseeker build.
Yeah, they need the catch for the Void, though, this game, more than anything, I think. Like, they lack, like, really cheap, easy stuns. We took Corrosive Skin at level 1 on the Viper against the Zeus.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could see that working. It's okay. Nice little bit of early magic resistance as well.
Does the Zeus do well in that lane?
I mean, they should just trade farm, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Viper does have some kill potential for the Zeus, I think. Maybe at, like, level 3, but it's not easy. I think the Zeus have a really early bottle coming out. No, it's just a salve and tangos. Okay. Because the other thing as well you have to remember is Viper started stick. So normally where this hero has really bad mana issues, like against Zeus and he has a stick, it feels pretty good.
I want to see how this Ricky does. 4-1 so far.
No, he's doing okay. I think the Dire's laning stage is potentially slightly better. But not massively.
Concussive shot, tag team, but they've got the spear and the arcane bolt.
Oh, no,
but
Chalice.
Blink Strike, Chalice in trouble. Tricks of the trade. They'll get the kill. Monet now in trouble. We've got one more arcane bolt, which will finish off this Ricky, but first blood's there for him.
Oh, they'll take that though. I mean, the Mars missed out on so much XP there because the lane was pushing in as well. Like they get the first blood gold. Obviously, Sky's going to feel okay about this because he gets so much XP. He's now level 3. But the Mars has only just hit level 2. So like, he's missed out on so many creeps down here.
Take it from me, Skywrath. That ship has sailed.
Yeah, can't stand in that blood, right? Zeus getting low over mid. He's forced to salve, and it seems like he's buying a lot of regen to the point where this bottle is going to be slowed down pretty significantly.
Yes, yeah. For sure. But, I mean, both these mid laners end up just buying regen all the time, I think, as well. Like, any Viper matchup, it's just regen.
What was the old matchup we used to see that in?
What, would just regen be more?
Yeah, no, it's just like so much harassment from both mids that we'd end up seeing like a bunch of regen get shipped out.
Probably like
I think it was like
TA
last
somebody,
season, right?
I'd imagine.
Yeah. What was it? TA what?
TA something, it would be my guess. I don't know what, but
Okay.
maybe like Storm or something. I don't know. I was interested to see if he might take Vacuum at level 2 on the Darkseer, but
Just goes Iron Shell Surge.
Dire's top tower is under
this Void's
attack.
going to miss out on a whole wave top as well, under this tower. And he can't really jump forward because of XSS here with the Iron Shell.
Uh-huh. Already
He's
one
actually in
killing
trouble
for
here.
EHOME. Taking a lot of damage from that blood right though.
Yeah, and again, the Void's going to really struggle to get to this wave top. Okay, no, the Bloodseeker lets him go. Fair enough.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bobica's stacking some camps as well. I don't know if you've seen this up in the top jungle. He has a 3-stack on that big camp. So he's playing it like the Jinkyu techies in that sense.
Radiant's courier has been
Let's
killed.
keep referring it to it whenever we can.
Losing that Wraith Band,
Oh, he might be.
and he's
that's a
getting
DD on the
pressured.
sky. Yeah. 2 points in concussive shots, a huge amount of slow.
Is the soul laning phase benefiting either team more so than the other?
No blood for you.
Good question. I think probably the Dire side slightly. But again, like they have this greedy core duo in the Ricky and the Zeus on Radiant, so it's not like awful for them. Because they can't really fight early on anyway. Bounty runes are going to spawn here. It's going to be 1-for-1 bot side.
Fitting bounty.
Got it.
So Radiant get 3 runes
Of
this
them
time.
all.
What surge is this?
Tusk.
In trouble. Getting low. Shards getting some distance, but James has the Arcane Bolt. They have also got X-Nova coming over.
It feels good to get
Except
Three
just takes the
heroes
kill.
here to get that kill.
Dude, I had to play Ogre this game. I'm playing Venge this game. You're gonna give me this kill, guys. Sorry.
I got to do nothing as Ogre last game. Bobica. He got some vision there.
Radiant's
But
middle tower
I'm
is
not
under
certain it's even
attack.
going to matter.
Yeah, and with this catapult wave, like these 2 dire supports are trying to force the lane in a little bit. They're gonna have to glyph as well here. Both
Radiant
teams are
structures
actually.
are fortified.
But there is another wave coming mid here,
Radiant's
so if they can keep
middle
this
tower is
catapult
under
alive, they
attack.
should get a decent amount of tier 1 damage off. Looks like they will.
Radiant's middle tower
You're
is
just
under
sitting low,
attack.
trying to farm where you can at the moment. DD comes back over. We like that creep, but doesn't get it.
And this Zeus is having a relatively difficult time mid in terms of net worth, but not in terms of CS. Just because he's had to buy so much regen.
Decent shards. Thunder God's Wrath comes in. They've got the tag team. They don't get the kill to James, but they look over to XM. They have the snowball hitting in. DD, though, starting to sip on that bottle. They get
mana.
the kill to Tian Ming. So now DD having mana issues on the
think he's
run
in
from
trouble.
XM, and he might just be dead. Got the break. They have the Bloodseeker coming over. Bloodright lands on the XM.
Oh, the
with
body
blocks. Oh, X-Nova.
He just gets
You'll
ruptured.
get ruptured for that.
He has a stun again.
And he's just gonna stand there. Bloodright. Oh. At least he gets something. But Chalice. Ooh. Dynamo Monet. With the help of
Ooh.
Bobica.
Great rotation by the Bloodseeker. I mean, honestly, really nice play by X-Nova for the body blocks and things. Like, if the Viper dies there, I think it's a really big deal because he uses his TP as well. Because then he can't TP back to the lane, right?
Mhm.
But, yeah, the fact he stays alive,
Dyer's
very
bottom
nice. But
tower
this
is
Ricky
under
down in the
attack.
bot lane is having a really nice time. Like, he has the treads coming out on the courier, he's got double Wraith Band, and is now going to head for that defusal. And if Mona gets this defusal, I think he can make, like, strong plays on the map here. Because, like, Void's susceptible to a smoke cloud, I think Viper's susceptible to a smoke cloud. They don't have great maneuverability on the Dire side. And when you have this Mars Viper Void Tricore, you know they're probably going to be wanting to be greedy and farm, especially after last game.
Yeah.
It's the Zeus I'm worried about the most.
He really tickled you the net worth, and it's not going well. And he's behind this Viper by quite a bit.
He gets an Arcane Ring though. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Big strike forward. Spear hits onto the Tusk. Vacuum. Now they've got the Silence. The Chrono on a 3. 4 heroes down here for the Dire side. They'll try to get Monet. Snowball. Can they get this? Tricks of the trade. Surviving. Oh my god. Monet gets away. And Chalice is the one who ends up dead too.
That was so
What
cool.
a save.
What a play. Because did you see Bobica like hanging around towards the back so he could blink strike away straight away? That was really cool. They do get a double D ward though. XM and X-Nova.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
Let's have
That
this
kills a
round of
massive deal because now like that diffusal doesn't get delayed at all.
Yeah.
He's going to start heading top on the Ricky to hit this bit top tier 1 tower. And I don't know who comes up here from the Dire to defend this. Maybe like Chalice on the Mars, but
Dyer's top tower is
it's
under
really hard
attack.
because whoever TP's in has potential to just get ruptured. And like, they obviously have no ability to TP
Radiant
away then
are
either.
scanning.
And Atos is going to be done on the Bloodseeker after this tower goes down.
Radiant's
You really want to
bottom
give the last
tower
hit to
is
Monet
under
here.
attack. Dyer's
Okay, never
top
mind.
tower has fallen. Dyer's
GGN.
structures are fortified.
Seems like Monet might just get some time and space up here top.
Radiant's
himself.
bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, the wave clear on the Dire supports is not good. So, like, normally where you just send a support up here to get levels. I mean, Sky's going to come. We'll hang a bot lane rupture and the silence.
Yeah, they look over the Faceless Void. They've got the Snowball hitting with the tag team. They get the kill on SCCC.
Oh, what a shot!
They're chasing after X-Nova. The shards are placed perfectly. They've dropped down the wall. They get the kill. XSS gets both. He's got that Rod of Atos to work with, and
Wow.
things all of a sudden start heading the way of Aster. And again, like I said, Monet's just going to continue to farm up towards top for free at the moment.
do with more of that.
It's going really well for him. He's sitting second on the net worth now. XSS having himself a game.
That would be a tribute.
Concussive shot.
Yeah. I mean, obviously James is level 6 now, so you want the Sky to be playing with the Mars, I think, to try and find kills. It's just really awkward, because then who sits up in this top lane to defend? Like
Radiant's
Viper?
bottom tower
Maybe,
is
but
under attack.
Doesn't feel good.
Radiant structures
I still feel
are
like when Monet
fortified.
gets this defusal, the game's gonna, like, start to get real crazy. Which would be nice, after last game, to see some more early action.
Yeah, especially it just feels like the tempo's just gonna rise up and, like you said, get crazy.
Atos
And
on the Viper
nobody's
now.
really stopping Monet. And all of a sudden, Zeus is also getting what seems to be a decent stack, too. Chalice
Yeah,
over
he's doing okay.
TMing.
He's kind of recovered his game a little bit here. It's still not great on the Zeus, but, like, it's okay.
Snowball. Alright. Now he's silenced. They've brought over X Nova. They'll get the kill onto the Tusk, but this is a lot of space being made.
Yeah, nice kill for Chalice, because he's not even level 7 yet. Like, he needs as much as he can get right now.
Dealing with a 1k advantage. Void. Mask of Madness BKB. Bloodseeker. Going. Radovito's Glimmer Cape? Okay.
Yeah, I was just about to point this out. I mean, hang on, they want the Viper here up in the top lane. They're making rotations. There's nobody else within touching distance on the Dire side.
Radiant's
Yeah,
top
I
tower
think, did they
is
see
under
someone under a
attack.
ward though? No, they knew.
She just felt the rotation.
Tusk
Maybe
running up.
want to go out somewhere else. Thunder God's Wrath, Silence, as well as the Arcane Bolt, Mystic Flare on a TMing. They've got the Arena down on top of Bobica, Spear, and their Toxin. Ooh, not going to be enough to get away with the Surge. He dropped
Walking
the
high
wall,
ground
too.
there. Walking high ground there without like vision where you're running into. They have that ward behind on the high ground, but they don't see how many heroes are there. So, a little bit crazy, but at least it's just the support duo that dies. It's just, I mean, this Void is starting to find farm, but,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't have an amazing start, he did okay, but now he's, you know, quickly becoming the strongest hero on the map whenever Chrono's up.
Could become an issue.
So let's go back to this Glimmer Cape on Bloodseeker, because this is pretty cool. I mean, up against Chronosphere, it's obviously not that great. But up against like the Mars, the Viper, the Skywrath, it's going to be really strong. Because if you look at Dire's side, I think they require on being able to burst somebody down relatively quickly and take like a numbers advantage fight. But if that Glimmer Cape like delays a death by like a decent amount of time, allows them to get a couple of spells off
Radiant's
maybe.
middle tower is under attack.
Is that still
be really
worth it, though?
Yeah, I think it's good. It's like
Is it-
it's kind of like a hood purchase in a way though. But you can use it on other people as well.
Smoke broken, Time Walker for the Chrono. That lands. Mystic Flare is there, so they'll get the kill into the Bloodseeker. Another kill here for the side of EHOME. They're moving around and getting massive amounts of
Radiant's
pickoffs.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they want to try and get this mid-tier 1 here as well, but they don't take buildings massively quickly.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is
Looks
under
like Radiant's
attack.
just going to give it up though, without the Bloodseeker.
Yeah. Dead for another 5 seconds.
Monet is getting really close to
Radiant's
this
middle
defusal though.
tower has
It's like
fallen.
150 gold away, 100 gold away
Dire's
now.
bottom tower is under attack.
And I think that's their timing where they have to make a smoke and try and make a play. Because like Zeus is going to have level 2 Thunder God's
Dire's
Wrath
top
as well.
tower is
They
under
have decent
attack.
damage output. There's like Iron Shell on the Ricky as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little bit awkward to find that initiation in the first place on the Radiant side. Like, they don't have any, like, clear catch, really.
Axe next for Zeus, of course. I think that Nimbus is going to be a big timing. And it's Diffusal Battle Fury. Smoke Boy from EHOME. Trying to head over bottom. Boca's the only one here standing in this bottom lane thus far. The other 4 for Aster are off towards mid and in the triangle. And Boba can just TPs away.
They're going to smoke up here, though. This is the timing that we're talking about with the diffusal blade. They find the void. This is huge. But he's sitting under a ward right now.
Thunder God's Wrath, Snowball. And there's the Swap Magic Missile, Mystic Flare. They'll find the Tusk, but Void is dead. Void is gone, and this is a great trade so far for Aster. The more they can get, the better. They go after X-Nova, and he sits on just the most minuscule amount of health. The silence on a Monet, and all of a sudden he dies. They lose XM. They've got the Rod of Atos. They get that kill onto this Venge. It's a triple kill for XSS, who will chase Chalice.
They're still going here as well. Has the 8 up in
they've
7
got the
seconds.
vision. Blood right. And they've got the movement speed too, especially with the surge. Rod of Atos finally comes in. Spear latches onto the tree. But they have the damage and they'll get the kill. Good fight for Aster, despite the fact that they lost Monet.
The fact they kill the Void straight away was the biggest thing, right? Because like you said, I think you saw the Tusk die right in the arena. But they caught him with an Atos on the Void, followed up with the Smoke Cloud, and he just, there's no chance for him to survive there until he gets BKB. Which is about 1,000 gold away, so not massively far. But I think if you're Aster, you just look to go again, honestly.
No reason why they should stop.
I mean, maybe they're a little bit more worried this time because of Chronosphere, and Ricky needs time to farm this Battle Fury. Like, he needs to buy this item, otherwise he's not going to scale at all in comparison to the Void. And again, when you have like this vacuum and things as well, like this Battle Fury gains more value anyway. So.
XSS, he's massively farmed.
Yes.
He's gotten so much this game.
I also like to see the Darkseer go for a 4-staff up against the Skywrath. Like who has this? I say not the Skywrath, the Viper. Well, the Viper has the Atos, but it's the Skywrath's damage that's going to come through, right? Bot lane.
Chalice going down to TM Ming. And this is starting to extend into a bigger lead for the side of Team Aster.
Yeah, no, it feels like last game in the sense of it was for Aster last game, but for EHOME here that they're going to become very reliant on this Void for damage output soon, because Mars isn't having a fun game at all. He's gone Phase Boost Blink, and Viper's gone Atos Mech. Like he's scaling to help his team with like utility and things, but in terms of damage output, it's just the Void.
Double damage.
I don't know if he can even do
Hammer.
enough with it just being the Void, you know?
No, yeah, I'm unsure, because I think he'll definitely have the hit like damage to be able to kill one hero on the Void. I just struggle to see how they're going to kill the Zeus, the Bloodseeker, and the Ricky in like quick enough.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're going to have to try and go high ground on the Dire side against Zeus, Bloodseeker. With the lineup that they have, it sounds horrendous.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening.
Because like even though Zeus had this really difficult time at the start of the game, like in that last fight he got completely untouched. And it's the same problem again. The Zeus is just needs to be dealt with.
Smoke play from EHOME. Trying to find any openings that they can. Through mid, they might be able to find the Zeus. But that would really be it.
They want to try and play around the Roche, but yeah, okay, they're going to go in.
Dire's bottom tower
The
has
tower,
fallen.
Roche being taken.
And with these slow tempo games, this is really good. I think you want to try and be sneaky here, because everyone seems so content in farming all the time, that if you can take any objective like this, they have good vision down outside the pit as well, then could be a big deal. Like, Aster are going to smoke up here, but it's too late.
It's too late, but they might fight afterwards anyway. Rod of Atos comes in. They've got the shards as well as the blood right. They look over at James. He's silenced. Arena swap. Snowball coming through onto the Skywrath Mage to get the kill onto James. Now they look over at XSS. They've taken with the Bloodseeker. Monet moving forward. The Chronosphere is out onto the Ricky, but he's in the smoke screen. Doesn't matter with the KPV powered by SCCC. So, tricks of the trade. They've got the damage.
Oh,
Let's take out X-Nova.
Oh.
Just get away 2v1. Or 2 for 1.
Oh, Monet living there. Absolutely huge.
Mine.
Looked like he was caught.
Bounty. What
Yeah, it
surge
really did.
is this?
Yeah, so again, decent win for EHOME, but like that's the BKB reveal on the Void, right? And you kill a Bloodseeker for it. So as this BKB gets lower and lower duration, it's going to get harder against the Zeus. But again, DE goes completely untouched the whole fight. They have... I don't know how they're supposed to do it, whether it's Chalice on Mars or like James maybe on this Skywrath, who's decided to go Meteor Hammer first for some reason. I don't know why. Like obviously it's decent wave clear, which is fine. And we talked about how their supports lack wave clear, so maybe that's a reason. But I feel like they're not dealing with the core issues that they're against. Zeus has Axe in 500 gold.
And that can make these fights even easier. Well, I mean, it's going to make the fights even easier. The question is, can Aster capitalize? They've got the Battle Fury now. And Ricky, he's top of the net worth going into Battle Fury type farm.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're top of net worth before you get Battle Fury is insane. Like, this hero doesn't farm fast.
Shards. Rod, Arena down, and they've got the Rupture. Runs back in, they go for TM Ming. They've got the Rod of Atos out onto this Tusk. End up losing the life of TM Ming. The question is, well, will they lose more?
Nice time
dilation. Blood right, and the wall.
Okay. That time the blood right, so it kind of stops anything more coming through. Aster really don't want to fight until this. Okay, no, they do have the Ags on the Zeus now. It just came out on the Courier. But lots of TP rotations force top. Not a massive deal that they lose the Tusk. Bit of an even trade.
One going Manta next. They can't be looking to get this, can they?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nova and James, they can't jump, right?
I don't think so, no. I mean, if they have the stun, maybe, like, but it's so difficult to land the stun in the first place.
And there's Thunder God's Wrath. Snowball Shards, Blood right down. They'll get the kill on X Nova.
You didn't see
And I think this is a top tier 2
coming.
tower now. Aster, EHOME are going to try and trade in the bot lane, but I think Aster are quite happy to do that while the Aegis is online.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant
What were you going to say about
structures are
Boviga? Just how
fortified.
farmed he is?
Yeah, he's just hit level 15. So he has this Iron Shell talent now as well, but he's got Blink coming out on the Courier.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, this is a big team fight, which I feel like sometimes the Radiant have been lacking in these fights,
Dire's
especially for like the
middle tower
catch with the
is under
vacuum and
attack.
stuff. If they can get like this vacuum combo off into like the Tricks of the Trade Battle Fury, into the
Dire's
Blood
top
Right damage
tower
coming
has
through.
fallen.
Alright, see something cool.
Chalice. God, look at it. The minuscule amount of farm it feels like Chalice has as he's going to die again here. If he's not too careful. They go for the Chrono. That lands on the Ricky. They don't have a save for this. So Monet just gets ripped through. They've got the spear landing on a bow because Chalice ends up surviving the onslaught that comes immediately in. And they turn it right around onto Aster. Well done by EHOME.
Yeah, they need to find a way so that Ricky doesn't get Chronosphered in fights. I feel like there's been a couple of times where he could have got Tricks of the Trade off just before the Chrono comes out as well, to like potentially delay some of the damage in Chronosphere, but... The only way they lose fights at the moment on Aster is if Ricky gets Chronoed. And it's somehow, it feels like it's happened like the last 2 or 3 times, maybe?
Radiant's middle tower.
But they
is
need to,
under attack.
Aster need to group up, and they need to run at EHOME again now that Chrono's down. Because even though he has Aegis, it's gone, well, it's just about to disappear, and they don't have Chrono.
So there it is, Rod of Atos, Blood Right, and the Rupture all on the Void. They've got the Snowball and the Nimbus with the
gone.
Walrus Punch. They get the kill on SCC. Shards block XM for a moment. They have multiple heroes TPing in on mid. Viper Strike, Blood Right, down, Surge, Blink Strike now onto the Viper. They've got the swap. And still, though, with the Tricks of the Trade and the Blink Strike, they get the kill on XM and X Nova. Look at the
They get
speed
the
on
Sky
XSS.
as well.
He's got the Rod of Atos as well as the blood right down. They've got the damage to get the kill. It's a triple kill from Monet. 4 heroes dead on the side of EHOME all of a sudden.
I don't know. I don't know whether SCCC assumed he had the Aegis still and didn't notice it had gone or what,
Dire's
but that
middle
was so,
tower has fallen.
like, relaxed from him. To just allow them to casually walk up to the tower like that and, you know, just combo him up.
So one big fight gets rebutted with another.
Yeah, and that's definitely Aster favored. Void gonna work his way towards this MKB here though. Getting closer, like a 1500 gold away or so.
Monet, meanwhile, going Yasha into the Manta style.
Might be cool to see Bloodseeker go for an E-Blade as they're safe for the Chronosphere. Because like you were saying before, they don't have any way of keeping
Radiant's
people
middle
alive in the
tower is
Chrono.
under attack.
Problem is, if you E-Blade somebody, you're against the Skywrath as well. So, you know, pick your poison.
Yeah. XSS. This farm's kind of dropped off in the last few minutes. They have a 7k lead. And Zeus, Ags Blink, Boots of Travel. Does he get a refresher like we've been seeing other Zeuses get?
Yeah, I think so. The only other thing I wouldn't mind him potentially buying is Hex. Just because this Void is like such a single core, like, problem this game. Where Hex could be really useful. But even then, I don't think that's likely.
So, Thunder God's Wrath catches some vision.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ooh. BKB.
10-second up, gone. Bobka is going back for a 4-stuff now after this blink, which I like. Wouldn't have minded seeing him get one before the blink, but as long as he gets it at some point, it's okay. What's Radiant's vision right now? Yeah, that's not a huge amount. I mean, they have this ward up in the top lane and the ward down to the bot lane, but we'll hang on mid. Arena.
Walrus Punch. Arena coming down. Spear hits onto this Bloodseeker.
Oh,
Terror,
good snowball save.
And they're on the run. Force Staff, XSS. Rupture now out on SCCC. Spear hits this Tusk. Blood right.
Radiant's courier has
It'll
been
come
killed.
down. It won't land on anybody. They've got a wall down to the river.
Has been
Wave
killed.
Terror hits once again. Oh, MKB is killed on the courier. Okay. Paladin Sword, Rod of Atos. Blood right down once again.
Has been killed.
And they've got the Chrono. This is right on top of the Ricky with the Mystic Flare. They take out Monet once again. Snowball forward. BKB is running out on the Dire side. They've got the swap. And Magic Missile hitting onto the Zeus. Thunder God's Wrath. All of a sudden,
my goodness.
SCCC and Chalice both fall. Swap once again. GD's surviving. Right click's coming in from XM. He's got the Viper Strike throwing forward once more. Blood right. A lot of these heroes low, but they've got the break on this Bloodseeker, so he's not getting that extra, you know, help.
Search.
But back you. Force Staff. Bobica. XSS gets the kill on X Nova. Bobica falls. XSS doing work in this fight. So is XM.
Yeah, I mean, that Zeus there, though, I think the fact that the Void dies is a big deal, though, right? Because again,
Radiant's
Monet
middle
manages to get the
tower
trick
is
to the
under
trade-off
attack.
just before the Chrono, which is fantastic. That's really good for him. But he still dies in the Chronosphere. And that's like half a Chronosphere duration he's dying in.
Oh, Rupture. James is right here. XSS knows it.
You gotta force him, dude. More Rupture damage. Go. Monet's back alive here, though.
Tricks of the trade. Shards. Wow. Really perfect.
And Roche is back up again. I think this is time. Yeah, they need to force the Viper buyback here. Because again, there's no Chronosphere still, so Ricky feels so much safer right now. They need XXS to come over to the Roche bit here, I think.
For the twins.
Oh no, they have the Nimbus. Never mind. And now, if Monet's able to get this Aegis here for himself, like we said, the only thing he's been dying to this whole game is Chronosphere. You have 2 lives, you're fine. Oh,
Going
Again-
Nullfire next. Go for it.
on the Ricky, yeah. He had Basher queued up, but I think the Nullifier's better. Like, because there's a Ghost Scepter on the Skywrath. You know, it stops any 4-staffs coming through potentially that might come out at some point. Yeah, it stops... there's a gem on the bench, actually. Wow. Okay. This is something X-Nova did a lot at LGD, though, as well. Where he got, like, a relatively early gem in the game and just tried to control the vision on the map. Maybe he feels like because he's playing against the Zeus, they need to try and take the map presence away from Aster as much as it's been taken away from them.
Dire are scanning.
Arena. Okay, with the spear, Mystic Flare down. Get the kill. I don't know why Mystic Flare just never shows on my screen.
It came up for me now, that time. Because you need a new computer, dude, I told you. MKB finally here on the Void, after it died on the courier before. And they're gonna smoke. I don't think the Radiant Ward saw that.
Haste.
Yeah, they ping out the wards there, because they have this gem, but they're just gonna try and find an opening. They see the Radiant top jungle here with this really deep ward that they have.
Thunder God's Wrath gives them the vision, and now time dilation. I don't believe that hit. Rod of Atos comes through onto the Faceless Void. They've got Rupture down, and there's the Chronosphere out onto the
Yes,
Ricky.
Aegis though.
Smoke screens down, spear back onto the Tusk. Rod of Atos coming out from the Viper onto the Tusk, and then the Blood Right doesn't land. Vacuum from Bobica's off the mark. They find the Viper in the Nimbus, wall down, blink strike forward, smoke screen down. They get the kill onto XM.
Anyone could.
Now they look over to finish off this Venge.
Did he... X-Nova passed
Arena?
off with the jet. Oh my god.
Spear, Mystic Flare, and mitigated. Bobica right on the edge, so all of them survive. They'll look for the snowball, and they won't have the distance to make it up, though.
I really want to point out that's cool there. In the middle of that fight, X-Nova passed over the gem to the Faceless Void. I don't know whether they did it during the smoke, or whether they did it during the middle of the fight. But it means that they don't lose that. And that's a decent win for the Dire side. You know, they managed to kill the Ricky's Aegis. But, yeah, and they don't lose the Void, right? But it's up to Aster now to try and make the most of this downtime where Chronosphere isn't available.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Aster need to just take one fight, though, where they actually find the initiation themselves. And the Ricky doesn't get caught. Like, imagine if they just blew up the Void at the start of the fight, right, somehow. You know, they've got Nimbus, they've got, you know, the Ricky damage, they've got Vacuum Wall, they've got Punch. But it feels like it hasn't happened all game, and it's so difficult when you're playing against Venge as well, to, like, find that opening. Because every single fight, it feels like EHOME are the ones starting it. But Aster were like this last game as well. You know, they hardly ever made that move. There's a DD bot.
Picked up by XXS.
Is always ready.
Viper's got 2 pairs of boots for no legs. Nice.
Well, he's not using the bug set, otherwise he'd have 8.
One for each
6.
wing, dude. It's fine.
Yeah? For all the net worth we that Aster have, it definitely feels even at this point in the team fights. As long as they catch Monet and the Chrono.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't know whether BKB's on the Dire side
Scan.
now, though.
And that'll go red. They have Thunder God's Wrath. That'll catch the vision. Now the Nimbus down. Find the Tusk, Arena in, Spears there, and TMing. He'll throw back the Magic Missile and the Arcane Bolt. Mystic Flare down. They get the kill to TMing. Now they look towards the rest, though. Chronosphere on Monet again. So he's dead. Don't understand why they continue to try and fight that with him going right into the Chrono, but the fight rages on. Viper Strike on a TMing, and he'll die back. Buyback symbol isn't even gone by the time he dies.
If their Tusk dies there to an arena, why does Monet feel so pressured to have to go into the middle of a fight when they know a Chronosphere is going to come out? That's so unnecessary. He instantly queues up A on this. He's like, I'm sick of this shit.
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
He's sick of it, but he just keeps getting caught in the Chrono.
But, I mean, SCCC's holding it for him every single fight as well. So it goes both ways. But, like, there's just let your Tusk die.
Top tower has fallen.
There's no Roche for them to take. You know, it's not a big deal. Your Tusk has buyback if he really needs to use it. But they decide to try and take the fight anyway after Monet's died, and the Tusk buys back.
Invisibility.
It just felt like such a massive panic there from Aster. Zeus about to hit level 25, by the way. I also really disagree with this Lincolns that he's building.
Top tower is under attack.
I personally would love to see this Hex. And I know it's not normally not a great item on Zeus, but I think this game, the only problem... What is...
Oh, they caught him. DD trying to run, but he ends up going down instead.
I'm your god too.
But why? You know, why does he need to push so far up there?
Yeah.
I will say, though, this gem from EHOME has been doing such a huge amount of work. It feels like they always have vision control in the game. And I know Xnova, even when he was on LGD, he was really well known for like his, you know, strong warding and how good he is at it.
Are scanning.
Oh, he puts down a sentry and the ward dies before he kills it. That's
Man, look at the odds. EHOME 1.6 to the Aster 2.1.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh,
Got the arena down, and Monet getting caught again. Spear landing. Monet in trouble. He's trying to make the jump, but they've got the dust. They'll have the silence. They'll get the Mystic Flare. They'll take him out. It was a 10k lead for Aster, and they've thrown it all away.
Aster just crumbling. Like, they're just getting picked off one by one.
Dire's top tower
This is
under
insane.
attack.
They're in such a good position in the game. They take a bad couple of fights, bad couple of pickoffs. All of a sudden, the net worth leads 4k. Void has a Satanic. He has a Paladin sword.
Like, Ricky and Zeus are still top of the net worth, but they're giving
Radiant's middle
away
tower
just
is under attack.
deaths.
We still have to remember, though, that EHOME still have to go high ground this game at some point, and it's not easy. If this ward goes unpunished by Xnova, then yeah, this is... Okay.
Swap, and now Tusk. What is Orb on him? BKB pop by Chalice. Spear all the way back. They've got the silence and the God's Rebuke to get the kill on Xnova. They'll throw the Rupture out. Chalice trying to inch his way back. Arena down. And
Dagon!
Dagon works.
But you see, they don't want to use the Chronosphere on SCCC because they need to save it for the Ricky in the next fight.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. They can't go high ground. Like, it's so... Well, they can. It's just really difficult. There's a Ninja Gear on the Void as well. It's one of the best items you can get. Just for that, you know, having the smoke to be used to try and find that perfect initiation. Mid lane.
SCC. It's about to hit 25 soon, and Ricky's only level 23.
Dire's courier has been killed.
And disc for Bobica, Monet. He'd love to finish his.
Picks
Just
up on
see
the
what
Void.
that's gonna happen. This was actually okay. He didn't Chrono Monet, but they've got the Mystic Flare on both these heroes. 4 staffs trying to get some space. With the Lotus Orb, Arcane Bolt going back, Rupture, and Snowball! Oh no, SCC getting the opportunity to get out of this one. Monet looking for an opportunity to jump in.
This isn't a good
back
fight
on
for
this
EHOME.
Bloodseeker, and now they've got the wall down. Viper Strike out of TM Ming. They look over at X Nova. The Thunder God's Wrath takes out this Venge.
Oh, they got Monet.
Kill Monet still, even without the Chrono. Spear onto the Bloodseeker. Bobica on the run. Zeus is trying to put some help in from a distance. They'll get the kill on a James, and now they're starting to move forward a little bit.
I think they
Damage
can
that
chase
he's
it.
able to output.
Wow. I can't believe that fight went so well for them after they used the Chrono and didn't find a kill straight away.
Yeah.
That was insane. And Bloodseeker bought back as well. Like, that's a huge win for EHOME.
Mm-hmm.
And Monet almost has his Aeon Disc, which is... You know, you see this time on this here and you're like, wow, this is super sad, but I think he has to. Because it's not just the Chronosphere that he has to be worried about, it's this Mystic Flare burst damage as well. Also, Zeus took the cast range talent, so I really want him to go Hex now.
It feels like he's not inputting a lot of damage at points in that fight, though. Like, he just kind of stopped throwing out spells.
It's because it's the BKB durations though, right, on the Dire side. He can't really do anything when the BKBs are active. Like, that's just Zeus as a hero. You know, Chalice is down to 5 seconds. The Void is down to 5 seconds as well. He does have the backtrack talent now, though. So much harder to kill this Void than before. And they weren't even killing him before, it felt like.
Two-faced.
I think is he going Axe or is he going Scardy? He's going Axe on the Void, okay.
Smoke, high ground once again. Thunder God's Wrath, 4 staff back, trying to stay out of the swap. They've got the Anabatos on a Bobica.
Again, look at the wards on the Dire side. They see everything up in this top lane. It feels like all game they've just had this control. At some point, Zeus has to just start bowling everywhere, or they need to buy a gem. Because it's insane. Like, again, there's this Dire ward in the top jungle.
There's no
They
reason they
just
should be
saw
able to
the
keep this
smoke.
vision up.
Like, why would you not check for a ward there before you smoke?
You have a Zeus, you could do it pretty easily.
Dire
So
are
now
scanning.
EHOME are just going to hold the high ground. Viper's level 25 with the silence talent.
Ricky would have loved to hit that 25.
He really would. I think both those talents are really good this game as
Dire's
well.
bottom
He might be
tower is
tempted to
under
take the
attack.
smokescreen AoE here. Even though it's not the normal talent.
And they still have this vision. I can't believe they're allowed to keep this vision. 4 staff Nimbus down. Spear is actually a big miss, but the magic missile comes in as well as the silence. They've got the arena in. SCC comes over with the Chronosphere. They've got Monet locked up. They get the kill onto XXS. They've lost X Nova. He'll buy back. Now, Blink Strike forward. Down goes James. He buys back too. Walrus Punch onto the Viper, but they've got the damage to take out Tian Ming after all is said and done. Swap. Bobica.
And they just don't have damage.
Avoiding the spear, running back through the wall into the Nimbus. They need to be careful on the side of EHOME going through that wall all willy-nilly like that. But Monet goes into the tricks of the trade. He's got the smoke screen down. He's silenced up. Pops the Manta. Blink Strike back. Surviving. Nimbus down once again. The Minotaur Horn popped by Chalice.
And they just head into the Roche pit now because they know XXS has no buyback. Used it in the last fight. But again, it's all the vision. They see everything the whole fight. And so it allows them to easily pick off one by one. Also, they went on Monet there and they had the damage, but with the Aeon Disc proc, I don't think they realized he had it. So he did survive the initial Chronosphere burst, but they don't have the damage to kill like a Viper.
Oh, arena down. Mars a little forward on this. He
Oh
ends
my
up dead.
goodness.
Target when they hired me.
The Aegis on XM. Refresher. Chrono. They find
Nice.
the Zeus. He's so dead. He's got buyback. Radabatos on a Monet. Pops the Manta and now needs to try and run. Time dilation. Tricks of the trade. Another Toxin down. That's going to silence him up. Zeus comes back into the fight. And now Tina Ming maybe looking for an opening to get shards or even a snowball down. Don't get any of it.
Yeah. So now all they have to do is kill the Zeus once more, and then the fights are like... I feel like the game's incredibly hard for Aster. Because this Zeus, even though it feels like he's not outputting a huge amount of damage against like this Viper and Void and whatnot, he's the one that can hold the high ground as well, remember. So they can actually start pushing buildings on the Dire when the Zeus dies.
Mine.
Has he got the 25 yet? Now he's level 26, so he took the Tricks of the Trade cooldown. What do you take if you're XSS going into level 25?
I think you nearly always take the Blood Right cooldown. I mean, I don't think there's any reason not to. They just have massive damage issues now on the Radiant because this Viper just sits at the front with like pipe Lotus Greaves and just clicks people the whole fight. And like Void has this Time Walk unavailable, like just it feels like all the time. Because they can't burst him from 100 to 0, he's always going to get this Time Walk off.
So what do you wait for if you're Aster?
Is under attack.
I also just don't understand what this Lincoln Sphere does for the Zeus. Like, obviously it's going to be okay if he can use it on his, like, Ricky or something maybe, but you still have to be worried about Chronosphere, you still have to be worried about Arena.
Yeah, if they're jumping back on you, I think the consensus is that he's probably using Chrono to get on top and finish you off.
And they will prioritize this Zeus highly in fights now that he's brought back. You know, like I say, we do have to give credit to EHOME though, right? Like,
Yeah.
they have played this game incredibly well considering how far behind they were in the mid game.
Dire
Blood
are
Right
scanning.
cooldown. So now it's a 7. Ooh, SCC. Thought about it. Thought about the Chrono.
Sky's about to hit level 25. Both talents are pretty good.
Tusk about to hit 20. Still holding on to the timing here, where Roche won't be
Dire's
up for a
middle
long
tower
time.
is
The
under
Aegis in the
attack.
hands of the Viper. But they smoke up again, and they're not going to find anything just yet. Monet up towards top. He's just continuing to push out thus far. He's going pocket Ricky strat.
Radiant's
Okay.
bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know how much that helps him.
No, but if he can potentially, you know,
Radiant
try and use
are
the...
scanning.
well, okay. Tricks of the Trade goes up in value massively when you have the 25 talent, right? So the Axe means he doesn't have to be the one that goes into the fight. Like, if the Darkseer has Surge, for example, as well, he can use it on the Darkseer and then, like, try and get himself back out again with Blink Strike.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Hex for the Viper. Something I think that Aster would have greatly appreciated.
Yeah, the Hex on the Viper, though, I guess that means the Linkers goes up in value massively on the Zeus. It was a preemptive Linkens, guys. It's fine.
With nobody seeing that he got it. So they buy right into his hands.
Mine is truly
Well,
a blessed life.
Set up on Aster like they want to make a move, but...
Yeah, the Hex on the Viper, though, I guess that means the Linkers goes up in value massively on the Zeus. It was a preemptive Linkens, guys. It's fine.
With nobody seeing that he got it. So they buy right into his hands.
It
Buyback-wise, Void and Bloodseeker are the only two who have it.
I really feel like Monet's probably regretting this nullifier choice, by the way. He's probably really wishing he went Abyssal instead.
Ooh. Thunder God's Wrath, and they took out X-Nova. Oh. People are back. They've got the Chrono and Disc, but it's no more. So they get the kill on Monet. He'll buy back immediately. BKB's been popped by Chalice. Walled down. They go after Tusk. He's trying to survive. Gets out of the hands of SCC for the moment, and he survives all the way through and through. They look over at XM. They've got the damage coming in. SCC forced to leave. Nullifier. And Tricks of the Trade. Down goes XM. He's got buyback.
They need more, though.
If they can get SCC, that would look really good, but they focus their attention on it. James, Rotobatos comes in as well as the Bloodright. They've got the Nimbus down on a couple of these heroes with buyback being used by XM. Now jumping forward, Nullifier, Silence, and the Vacuum. Mystic Flare, he's just dead. Okay. He made the jump, and he pays for it.
Okay. Well, Ricky has no buyback. Bobik has Surge, Blink, and Force. Let's see who wins this one.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. That's...
Well guessed.
They see him? Oh my
god.
Dude, that was so sick by SCCC with that initial jump with the bash. There's a gem on the floor there that I don't think the Dire have realised, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Like, Ricky has no buyback, Darkseid has no buyback. Let's see if they can push into the Zeus. It's still not over yet.
I think they can.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified.
Top tower, go towards mid.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is down. Snowball. Thunder God's Wrath for the jump forward. They've got the Mystic Flare. TM Minion ends up surviving as the Snowball pulls Chalice back in. And Bloodright's down. Chalice. He'll die.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Trying to high ground against the Zeus.
Need to be careful. They still want to go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's start to go for the tier 3 tower once again.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Throw this orb and getting pushed back once again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Bloodright down and time walk forward. Maybe SCC wanted to make something happen. Monet back up in 3 seconds. And with that, they're going to retreat.
Oh, God. Odds on 60-minute items, everybody.
Up there.
Could get real fun. I'm going to start looking at them already to see what each team would want. Dude, Seer Stone on Zeus. Just cast all his spells from base. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of range that gives him. Range on spells are already so far.
Apex on Ricky could be a big deal as well. Ooh, X-Nova. Okay. I think did X-Nova find the gem up top and then... I think he did. And then he was like, oh, he just dies for it.
Hmm. 6k lead. EHOME.
Radiant are scanning.
Can they finish this one off? Buyback's still available on the Void, you know? Hard to get through him right now.
I mean,
twice.
They haven't killed... When was the last... I'm going to check the last time when they killed Void was. It was literally forever, it feels like. I'm still going back.
Smoke. Ooh.
Dire's top tower is
They've
under
got the Yules. Rupture though. Hex on a Monet. He's in trouble. They've got the Silence. Pop the Aeon Disc. Vacuum Wall on a 2. And has the Chrono still holding it. Radavatos now onto the Skywrath Mage with Dagon. They've got the Mystic Flare down on XSS. Smoke screen, silence. They get the kill there on it. James, they look for the Chrono that lands. And now Monet's in a lot of trouble. The right click's coming in. They'll get the kill. He's dead for 100 seconds without buyback. They bought back on James. They've got the Thunder God's Wrath. They hit the Spear on a Bobica. Bobica now trying to run. God's Rebuke keeps him close. Essence Ring. Now the Nimbus is down. Doesn't quite matter. Tian Ming is now on the run, but isn't avoiding these heroes all too well.
Dare I say it though, B-Cop Zeus is still alive. I still don't know if they can go high ground. Roche is about to spawn though.
They might just wait for that.
Give an Aegis to your Venge. Maybe. Not an Aegis, sorry, an Acronyms, I mean. Give it to the Viper as well. Maybe the Mars. This courier.
Radiant's courier has
Yeah,
been
they're waiting
killed.
for the courier to die
Your
before they
champion
fully
has
commit to
fallen
killing the
to
Roche.
die.
That's smart.
I was wondering
So
if it
Viper's-
had shield.
Viper's taking the Ag's blessing.
Do this. Doesn't even
I feel really bad for
They
Monet.
find the tusk.
Oh, hang on. Who finds who?
Morris Punch, Nimbus, Chalice, forced to pop the BKB. And he's been ruptured. They
He has
just can't
cheese
commit.
though.
Ooh, Thunder God's Wrath? Thunder God's Wrath?
Ooh.
No.
Really great cheese usage by Chalice. Chalice basically makes that refresher, completely wasted by the Zeus.
Yeah.
And that's huge considering they want to go high ground here as well. Or not. Gotta wait for those 60-minute items, I forgot. Sorry.
This could be a way back in, though, for Aster. What would be the best for both teams?
Say that again, sorry.
What would be the best tier 5 items for both teams?
I think Apex Ricky's pretty good. Hang on. Chalice. Monet.
A lot of damage. Blink Strike, Tricks of the Trade. They get him. It's got buyback.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel really bad for Monet because I know people are going to be criticizing him that it feels like he's not doing anything. But he's the only hero on his team that does, actual damage. Oh, Monet, Chrono.
Chronosphere, and they caught him. Get the kill. He's dead for 100. He doesn't have buyback, but he doesn't have buyback for 23 seconds, so he'll be up again in just a second. If they want to continue to push further.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Zeus has
Radiant's top
buyback again now
tower
though
is
as
under
well,
attack.
so against going high ground still very difficult.
Radavatos sits back at the Bloodseeker.
Radiant's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Level
Haven't
30 on the
taken
void.
mid racks yet at all.
Radiant's middle barracks
There's a repair kit
has
down as
fallen.
well. Oh. At the time, the Radiant were Aster were probably like, oh, do we really need a repair kit this game when they got it? And it's like 59 minutes in, they're like, oh, thank God we have this repair
Radiant's
kit.
top tower is under attack.
I'm in until tier 5s.
We might not make it
Dire
at this
back
rate.
up. Wait for the tier 5s at one
Radiant's
point.
top tower has fallen. Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Are playing in, bouncing back and
Radiant's top
forth.
barracks has fallen.
Taking the ranged racks.
Satanicking to hit the buildings. This is nice.
Morris Punch, and now the snowball on the Lotus Orb, so he's able to survive a little bit longer with the Lotus Orb. Back up, tier 5 items in 15 seconds.
Here we go. So that's what Dire want then. What did Dire want? I mean, Seer Stone for X-Nova would obviously be nice. I think Ballaster for Viper would be pretty good. Pirate Hat maybe on the Void.
Ex Machina, Trident.
Oh, they got Trident. Do you give that to the... Yeah, he's going to take it on Void. He's the only hero that could possibly take it.
Could fill up.
Honestly, Radiant side, hope for a Pirate Hat. Try and get back into the game by holding high ground and digging up bounty runes. That's the real play.
Stygian Desolator.
It's a good item.
They can't
Void-
even get their own tier 5s.
The Void level 30 is a big deal here as well because he gets the time walk reduction talent that he didn't take before. So where he was really difficult to kill before, he's going to be even harder to kill now.
Chalice. Vacuum, BKB, God's Rebuke with the spear hitting on a TMing. They've got the Mystic Flare down. They get the kill onto the Tusk. He's got
they see the Bloodseeker.
This Bloodseeker. Chrono committed onto Monet. And he's just dead. He's got buyback. Time walk forward. Refresher use. SCC. BKB. Right click's coming in. They get the kill. XSS. He's gone. Buyback's used all over the place. Chronosphere comes out onto the Tusk. So that's just the Tusk. Do they have the damage to get the kill here onto this Void?
Good swap.
Doesn't really look like it as XM's getting low. Strike forward, take out the Aegis from his hands. They also killed Revenge. Without the Tusk for 100,
Ricky
though, they
pull
hit
back.
the Spear. They've got the Mystic Flare down. Monet ends up dead. That's 2 minutes gone. Dude's trying to do all he can to hold this one alive, but it doesn't look like that's possible. They'll kill Bloodseeker. He's dead for 2 minutes. Boba TP's back to the base, or tries to. Time walks there. They've got the bashes. They'll get the kill, and they'll force us to a game 3.
Get another game 3. I don't think we've had 2 3-game series yet so far, have we? In this group stage. Yeah, not in one day at least, but... I don't know, that game was... I feel like there were some poor item choices on Aster, but I also think you have to give massive credit to EHOME for the way they played. I think they kept themselves in the game for so long. And I don't think... Did Aster even ever go high ground? I don't think they did, right?
No, I don't think they did either.
So... I don't know. The game felt very much all in on Void at the start, but then as the Viper starts to scale, all of a sudden you realize that Aster actually really need this Riki to do damage. And when you play this kind of like solo core lineup against the Void, all SCCC has to do every single fight is Void Chrono the Riki, and then they should never lose the fight, like theoretically. Like obviously this Zeus is a massive pain, and it stops them from winning the game sooner than they can.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they kind of just ignored him most of the time. They didn't really care.
It just seemed like at a certain point, Void just hit critical mass and was able to just go to town. I mean, Monet was caught so many times within the